Today, we will be talking about more witches that made their mark in history. Sadly, most were burned at the stake during the Salem witch trials, although they were using their powers for good. On today's list, we'll be talking about these witches and others that used their powers for evil. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Top 5 Real Witches Throughout History, Part 2. Hey everyone, what's up? And welcome back to Top 5. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and why don't you smash that like button, obviously subscribe to our channel because it really helps us out. Also, let me know if you want to see Part 3. If it's possible, I'll do it, but you gotta let me know. That being said, let's get on with the video. Starting off this countdown, we have Tituba. Tituba is a pretty famous name when it comes to the Salem witch trials because she was the first woman to be accused of practicing witchcraft. So Tituba was a young slave who was under the order of a man named Samuel Paris. She was in charge of looking after his daughter and niece, among other things. Then in the early 1690s, several young girls all over town began acting strange, his daughter and niece included. The girls would contort their bodies, bark like dogs, and babble and cry hysterically, almost as if they were possessed. They also would complain of bruises and pinch marks appearing randomly on their body. So immediately, people thought that they had been cursed by a witch. When she was put in front of a court, at first she denied any involvement. But eventually she admitted to practicing witchcraft. She claimed that the devil came to her and bid her to serve him. She went on to tell this elaborate tale about seeing strange animals, like a hairy creature that walked on 2 legs with wings and a head like a woman. She also talked about a red cat and how she would ride on sticks and was told by the devil to pinch these young girls. She also claimed that a big black dog came to her and told her to hurt the girls. Her testimony shocked and scared a lot of people, and we don't know if what she said was true or if she was just messing with the people in the court, playing into the whole witch stereotype, or if she really was practicing witchcraft and made a deal with the devil. In the end, she was sent to prison for a year. In 1693, some mysterious unknown individual freed her from jail, and after that, no one heard from her. In our 4th spot today, we have Agnes Sampson. In the early 1590s, King James VI of Scotland started to fear witches. He blamed that witches could cast spells on Mother Nature and conjure up terrible storms. Well, as King James and his wife were sailing back to Scotland, they encountered 2 very dangerous storms. Immediately, he was like, "It was the witches, they're out to get me!" And then he was determined to get them. So he started a witch hunt. Of the 70 people accused of being witches, one of them was named Agnes Sampson. She was a healer and midwife, but because she had these healing powers, people automatically assumed that she was an evil witch. In fact, growing up, her father taught her about the black arts. She also apparently could give predictions. So yes, she was a witch, but she was not an evil one. Well, eventually she was accused by a woman named Gillis Duncan. Basically, under torture, she confessed to being a witch and then gave the names of other witches. That's when Sampson's name was brought up. She was then tortured as well, and her body was shaved and revealed a witch's mark. In the end, under torture, she confessed to being allies with Satan and said that she conspired to kill the king. She was later burned to death. Now it's said that the ghost of Agnes haunts the Palace of Holy Roadhouse. A number of people have seen her roaming around naked after she was stripped and tortured. Moving on to number 3, we have Malin Matsdotter. In July of 1676, Swedish widow Malin Matsdotter was reported for being a witch. She was reported by her own daughters. They claimed that their mom would abduct a number of children and use them for a number of dark rituals. She was accused during the largest witch trial in Swedish history, the Great Noise. Now, was Malin actually a witch, or were her daughters just looking to get rid of her? Well, sadly, we don't know for sure. She may have indeed been practicing witchcraft, but she wasn't going around abducting kids. That part was never proven. Anyways, when she was put in front of the court, she always maintained her innocence. Her partner, on the other hand, Anna Simon's daughter Hack, was also accused of being a witch and apologized for her wrongdoings. These 2 women were the last victims executed for being witches. Anna was decapitated, but for Malin, well, they decided to burn her at the stake. She was the only witch in Swedish history to have been burned alive. Rumor has it that just before she was burned alive, she cursed both her daughters for eternity and gave them over to the devil. When the flames covered her body, apparently she did not scream, nor did she appear to be in pain. For everyone watching, this was further proof that she was in fact a witch. In our second spot today, we have Dion Fortune. Dion Fortune, born Violet Mary Firth, was a psychiatrist, author, occultist, and witch. For Fortune, it all started at the young age of 4. That's when she claimed she started receiving visions. Apparently, the visions were of her being a priestess in her past life. Then at the age of 20, she suffered a mental breakdown as a result of these psychic attacks, as she called them. During her recovery, she found herself drawn to the occult. From there, she began writing a number of books on the occult and witchcraft. In 1924, she founded a fraternity for people interested in the craft. It was called the Fraternity of Inner Light. In the fraternity, they engaged in a number of different practices and rituals. One was the initiation ritual, where the candidate was introduced to magic and witchcraft. The second was evocation, in which people would learn to harness the powers of witchcraft. Furthermore, Fortune was known for her involvement in the magical Battle of Britain. Basically, a number of British occultists joined together to help during World War II by using their magic. Shortly after the war ended, Fortune passed away. It's believed that her great effort in this battle caused her health to weaken and weaken. Nowadays, her influence is still strong for practitioners in the Wicca/witchcraft movement. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Marie Laveau. Although Marie Laveau described herself as a voodoo priestess, a number of people just referred to her as a witch. So Marie lived in New Orleans from 1794 to 1881, but not a lot is known about her life. What we do know is that she turned heads on the streets. Some were terrified of her, others basically bowed down to her. So it's said that the magic she practiced combined Catholic and African spiritual traditions. In fact, she was frequently called upon to help others. She would visit the sick in prisons, and at one point, the city called upon her for help with the yellow fever epidemic of the 1850s. On top of it all, she owned a large snake that she named Zombie, named after an African god. In fact, many believed that this snake harnessed magical powers itself. Her most well-known case was when she was called to work on a murder trial of a young man. The man's father came to Marie and promised her anything if she just saved his son. The odds were not in his favor. Everyone for sure thought that the verdict was going to be guilty, but Marie secretly placed several charms throughout the courtroom. And guess what? In the end, the man was found not guilty. That's pretty freaky. After Marie's death, her gravesite was frequently vandalized, but not for what you think. That's because legend goes if you draw an X on her gravestone, Marie's spirit will grant you whatever you want. So you had to draw an X on her tomb, then turn around 3 times, knock on her tomb, and then you have to yell out your wish. If in the end the wish comes true, you have to come back, circle the X, and then leave Marie an offering. Here's another legend surrounding Miss Laveau. There's apparently a haunted image of her hanging in New Orleans' historic voodoo museum. Some people say that they can feel Marie's cold eyes watching them as they're looking at this painting. Others say that once you see this image, then Marie will haunt you and even show up in your dreams. In fact, tour guides say that whoever wishes to see this painting must go by themselves, because the tour guides refuse to see this painting themselves. It's pretty freaky if you ask me. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below if you practice witchcraft, because I want to know. Now, speaking of comments, let's move on to our comment shout out portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the first part to this video. Quantum MMA commented, "My dog said it best. Lindsay looking rough lately." Well, as Dolly Parton said, I'm working 9 to 5. Yeah, seriously, I'm just trying to make myself a living, okay? So the bags under my eyes are designer. India Smith commented, "I love this channel." Well, you know what, India Smith? I love you. Thank you so much for your support and that lovely comment. Jamie Sample commented, "I've been to Mother Shipton's cave." Whoa, okay, first of all, that's really cool. There is a legend if you throw money in the water of the cave, it will grant you a wish as long as it's not money or harms anyone else. But you just said you throw money. I don't know, I think you mean like as long as the wish isn't to harm anyone, like it's a good wish. Bro! I need to go to Mother Shipton's cave. We need to go on a field trip. We need to go ghost hunting. We need to go to all these places. I'm down. If you're down, smash that like button. Maybe we'll bring some people along. Gemto commented, "I practice witchcraft and help others learn how to." Well, you need to help me because I have a book on it, but I haven't really read it. Like, there's some like really cool spells and incantations, like positive ones that I'd love to try out. I just don't know where to start, so DM me. John V commented, always fun to see Lindsay. The new hairstyle is really cool. It suits you, Lynn. Really. Congrats on another nice video. Well, thank you so much, John V. I appreciate it. I personally love it. Some of you have come for me, but I don't give a crap, because if I like it, then I like it, you know? Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Top 5 for more spooky videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya. Stay spooky.